Hi, Bob Summers here. I'm the creator of the 5-star review system on Best Local Reviews. And in this brief 5-minute video, I want to show you what we call best practices. How are the urgent carers who use our system, who have thousands of Google reviews and hundreds of 5-star Yelp reviews that don't get filtered, how are they doing it? Well, give me 5 minutes of your time and I will show you how to dramatically increase your overall effectiveness with the system. So the first rule is this. Number one, you're always going to verbally ask your patient if they will review you on Google, and you're going to tell them why. Now, it's against our terms of service to send a review request to someone without getting permission. It's considered spam. And number two, we also know that when someone says, yes, I will write a review, they are 20 times more likely to do it. So keep in mind, you are not allowed just to send emails to people requesting reviews if you do not get permission first. The second thing is you're always going to want to ask them to review you on Google. Now, you're in California. You have tons of Yelpers there. But here's the rule of thumb. If you want Google reviews, ask people to review you on Google. If you want Yelp reviews, ask people to review you on Google. Just make sure that Yelp is one of the choices when Yelpers get there, and it is. So when you send a review request, there are multiple choices, but you always want to ask your patient to review you on Google. And in a moment, I'm going to demonstrate how to go ahead and make this request. The second thing you're going to want to do is let them know that the staff, whether it's the doctors or you or whoever, is really looking forward to reading their comments. Now, when you ask someone, will they write a review, and they say yes, and you let them know that someone is looking forward to reading their comments, that will increase the number of people who write a review by 20%. It's a pretty big deal. Now, the third is the most important feature of all. You must always fill the form out while the patient is standing in front of you. If you fill this form out and the patient is not with you, their back is turned to you, they're not engaged with you, the likelihood of them writing a review drops by a factor of 4. If you fill this out while the patient is with you, it takes 30 seconds or less. They are 4 times more likely to write a review for you. Now, the psychology of this, I believe, is that when someone sees you send the request, they know that you know they got it. So nothing is more important in getting the most reviews than filling this form out when the patient is in front of you. That will also guarantee that the data you have is accurate. There's tons of things. And the final of the 4 things is this. You always want to send a request to them by email. You can text it to them too, but if you only send a text message, this is where you're going to get the lowest response. So for many reasons, you always want to get their email address. You can text it to them too, but always get their email first. Now, if you're seeing that emails are not going out because the email doesn't exist, it's probably because a patient is writing it down on a piece of paper. You're trying to type it into the best of your ability, and you can't read it most of the time. This is why it's so critically important to have the patient in front of you when you get their email. Because if you type in an email that doesn't exist, that's a patient who could have written a review that never got your request. So let's quickly look at these before I show you an example. Number 1, always ask your patient to review you on Google and tell them why. Number 2, let them know that the staff or you is looking forward to reading their comments. Number 3, and most importantly, always fill this form out when they're standing in front of you. And 4, always get their email when you fill out the form. All right, now let's take a quick look at how I might ask someone to write a review. You can use your own words and phrases. I don't want you using mine. As long as you do the 4 things we talked about, you're going to do great. But here's how I would ask. Later today or tonight or whenever it's convenient for you, would you mind taking just a couple of minutes to write a review for us on Google? And I'll tell you, the reason I ask is when you do, it helps other people learn about or urgent care through your experience here. Would you do that, please? Now, you don't have to go through this whole thing, but that's how I would do it. And then after they say yes, I would say, hey, before you go, I'd like to send you an email that has a link in it to where you can easily write that review. And I want you to know we're all really looking forward to reading your comments. That's it. So, number 1, make sure you ask your patient to review you on Google. Number 2, let them know you're looking forward to reading their comments. Number 3, and most importantly, Always fill this form out when they are standing in front of you. Nothing will have as big of an impact on getting reviews than this. And number 4, always fill in their email. Now, if you can do those things, you guys will get outstanding results. And feel free at any time to give me a call. You can go to the support section. You'll find my number, Bob Summers, in the bottom. Give me a call at any time if I can help you. I would love to see you succeed like all of the other urgent cares that are using the program, getting hundreds and thousands of Google and Yelp reviews, and you can do the same thing. Thank you.